Picture this: a man who could see the future, summon angels, and even control the weather. This is not a chapter extracted from a gripping fantasy novel. This was the reality of a man named John Dee, who lived in the 16th century. A scholar by profession, Dee doubled as an astrologer and occultist, serving in the capacity of a close advisor to Queen Elizabeth I. His life was not just ordinary, as he lived in a world where the lines between natural and supernatural were blurred, where the seen and unseen existed together. On this journey, we will take you through the lives of some of the most remarkable and well-known occultists like John Dee, and give you a peek into their intriguing practices. These were individuals who lived in the grey area between science and sorcery, between reality and the mystical, between the concrete world and the otherworldly. The term occultism originates from the Latin word occultus, which means hidden or secret. It encompasses a broad spectrum of beliefs, practices, and traditions that are far from being mainstream or universally accepted. Incorporates everything from divination and spiritualism to magic and alchemy. It's a world that exists in the shadows, often misunderstood and shrouded in mystery, largely due to its secretive nature. This journey into the world of occultism is not for the faint-hearted. It's a world that remains largely unexplored, from mainstream society to the most erudite scholars. It's a world that exists in the shadows, often misunderstood and shrouded in mystery. Imagine the scene. It's the late 1800s. The world is at the cusp of a new era, evolving at a rapid pace. With the rise of industrialism and scientific discovery, societies are transforming and new ideas are taking shape. Amidst this tumultuous period of change and revolution, an enigmatic figure emerges from the shadows, one who would leave an indelible mark on the spiritual landscape of the time, a woman named Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. Born into Russian nobility, Blavatsky displayed an early penchant for the eccentric and the esoteric. As a child, she was reported to exhibit unusual psychic abilities, sparking curiosity, suspicion, and awe in equal measure amongst those who her. As she grew older, her interest in the mystical deepened, fueled by a thirst for knowledge that transcended the boundaries of conventional understanding. In 1875, she, along with Colonel Henry Steele Olcott and William Quan Judge, co-founded the Theosophical Society. This group, pioneering in its approach, sought to explore and study the mysteries of the universe. They delved into ancient religions, metaphysics, and spiritual philosophies, seeking threads of truth that bridged the gaps between diverse faiths and belief systems. Blavatsky's claims were extraordinary. She professed to possess numerous psychic powers, including clairvoyance, telepathy, and the ability to manipulate the physical world with her mind. These abilities, she claimed, were honed through years of training under enigmatic masters in far-off Tibet, and she used them to delve deeper into the secrets of existence. Her contributions to the world of esoteric philosophy were monumental. She penned numerous works, including her magnum opus, The Secret Doctrine, a comprehensive exploration of spiritual evolution. Whether you lean towards skepticism or belief in her incredible claims, it's impossible to disregard the influence she exerted on the realm of occultism. Despite controversies and criticism, she remains a significant figure, her life and work inspiring countless seekers of spiritual wisdom. Whether you believe her claims or not, there's no denying the impact she had on the world of occultism. Fast forward to the early 20th century, where we meet Aleister Crowley, a man who would become one of the most influential figures in modern occultism. Emerging from the shadows of societal norms, this unconventional thinker was known for his passion for the arcane arts, embodying a character that was as enigmatic as it was captivating. Crowley was born into a wealthy English family, which allowed him the freedom to pursue his interests in a way that most people of his time could not. This early privilege set the stage for his lifelong exploration of esoteric and mystical practices. Crowley was a ceremonial, a title that does little to capture the depth of his commitment to the occult. He was not just a hobbyist or a dabbler. He was a devoted practitioner who thoroughly immersed himself in the study and practice of magic. In addition to his occult practices, Crowley was also a poet and mountaineer. His love for the written word was evident in his poetry, which often dealt with themes of personal freedom, transformation, and the exploration of the self. His penchant for climbing mountains, on the other hand, was a testament to his indefatigable spirit and his refusal to be confined by physical limitations. However, Crowley is perhaps best known for his development of Thelema, a spiritual philosophy based on the maxim, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." Thelema was more than a system of beliefs for him. It was a way of life. It challenged conventional wisdom, asserted the primacy of the individual's will, and offered a roadmap to spiritual liberation. Crowley's life was filled with controversy and intrigue. His unconventional practices, his rebellious spirit, and his commitment to personal freedom all combined to make him a figure who continues to inspire fascination and provoke debate. His practices continue to inspire and shock in equal measure. Then there's Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan. Born as Howard Stanton Levy in 1930, this influential figure has left a deep imprint on the world of alternative spirituality. His name may evoke images of dark rituals and diabolical ceremonies, but the truth of LaVey's beliefs is far from that stereotypical depiction. This might sound ominous, but Brand of Occultism was less about sinister worship and more about the promotion of self-aggrandizement and unabashed hedonism. LaVey was a man who lived by his own rules, a trait that was evident in his eccentric lifestyle and audacious doctrines. He was a critic of mainstream religions, seeing them as tools used to cower people into submission under the guise of morality and righteousness. He expressed his disdain for these establishments with his controversial teachings, often inciting shock and disapproval from conservative quarters. LaVey's brand of philosophy was centered around the individual and the celebration of human nature. He emphasized the importance of self-indulgence, arguing that every individual had the right to seek pleasure and happiness in their own terms. He dismissed the notions of sin and guilt propagated by conventional religions and championed the pursuit of worldly desires. His teachings were an open challenge to the religious status quo. He sought to debunk the superstitions and hypocrisies he saw in traditional religions, pushing for a more pragmatic and human-centric view of spirituality. He was a vocal advocate of skepticism and rationality, encouraging his followers to question everything and live according to their own desires. This was a stark contrast to the self-denial and asceticism preached by many religions. However, it's important to note that LaVey's beliefs didn't endorse harmful behavior or malevolence. While he believed in the pursuit of personal pleasure, he stressed on the importance of responsibility, understanding, and respect for others. He didn't propagate chaos or lawlessness, but rather individual responsibility and self-control. Indeed, LaVey's teachings were a radical departure from the conventional, advocating instead for a philosophy that celebrated the human condition in all its forms. He offered an alternative path that continues to influence many, even today. The realm of the occult is brimming with alluring figures, every individual harboring their distinct rituals and credences. They had the audacity to traverse the unexplored expanses of the psyche, the cosmos, and the spirit, frequently pushing the limits of what was considered acceptable or plausible by societal norms. But the occult isn't merely a thing of bygone times. It's alive, evolving, and continually adapting to the changing world. Modern occultists are continuously probing new ideas, theories, and methodologies, paving the way for forms of practices. Take the internet, for instance, a new age tool that has streamlined and redefined occult practices. It has given birth to contemporary digital occultism, allowing followers to use technology as a medium to understand, express, and implement their beliefs in innovative ways. The integration of technology and occultism has catalyzed a paradigm shift in traditional practices. It has given rise to a new form of mysticism, one that is technologically advanced yet deeply rooted in its traditional practices. This digital revolution in the mysterious world of occultism has raised many questions. It has left everyone wondering what lies ahead for the future of occultism. What kind of evolution and adaptation should we expect in the face of an ever-evolving world? How will the digital age affect the growth and development of occult practices? This transition from traditional to digital is a testament to the adaptability of occultism over the centuries. However, the answers to these questions are hidden, just like the world of the occult. The future of this mystical world is as intriguing and uncertain as the practices themselves. Tune in for our next video, where we will explore the modern occult practices further, focusing on digital spellcasting and techno-paganism. Until then, bear in mind, in the world of the occult, nothing is ever as it seems.